YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This morning, of course, like always, we got coffee and 3 eggs instead of my typical 6 or 3 plus the equivalent of 6 in egg whites. And that's because we are actually about to go for a run, but I wanted to just get a little bit of fuel in me. One, because it's super cold and I was freezing when I got out of bed. I'm quite warm now, I cranked the heating. If anything, I'm too warm, but I was freezing when I got out of bed and I just did not want to do anything. It's 3 degrees right now. It's pretty cold, so that's 3 degrees Celsius. So for all you Americans out there, not Fahrenheit, 3 degrees Celsius, because I'm in Canada. And as you can see, we got the Christmas tree already up in the background. We're ready to go. We're in the holiday spirit. Mom has already decorated the house, and it's that time of year. So not only is it the holidays, but it's prep season now. We're in marathon prep. I got a new pair of shoes, which is what I'm gonna go over in this video. Compare them to my last pair. I got the New Balance Super Comp Trainer V4s. I hope I didn't butcher that. But I'm gonna compare the new ones versus the old ones and what my prep is going to look like, because I haven't said in a YouTube video yet what I'm doing, and that's gonna be a marathon. So this marathon is also going to lead into something else, but for now, we need to stay focused with our goal of getting a sub 3:30 time for the marathon, and that is exactly what we're gonna do. But right now, I'm really hungry, so I'm gonna go eat this whopping 3 eggs, crush this coffee, and hopefully my nose gets clear too, because I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but I'm still a little bit sick. So over the past week, and the reason why I haven't put a YouTube video out in 3 weeks is because I've just been getting progressively sick and sick and sick. And I'm finally physically able to train again, which is good, but my nose is still insanely stuffed, if you couldn't already tell. And the fatigue is gone, which is good. I had a pretty gnarly fever for a while as well, and I couldn't even get any work done. I would just try and sit on my computer or read a book or something, and it was just so hard to focus. The only thing I really wanted to do was just lay in bed. So that's what I did, and it's what my body needed at the moment. So we unfortunately had a very unproductive week in terms of productivity, but a very productive week in terms of recovery. So it's a win-loss. Can't win them all, can't lose them all. So we gotta take something out of that. And we had no caffeine. So this is actually my first coffee in 7 days, which is mind-blowing to me. Right here we have my old trainers, the ones I did my 70.3 on, and my full Ironman, and then we have the new trainers right here. I just picked these up about a week ago, just before I got sick, literally 2 days before I got sick. And I have one run in them. You can see they're a little bit scuffed, but right off the bat, I mean, just look at the difference in stack height on these two. These V4s have a lot higher of a stack height. They both have the energy arc system on the bottom. You're not gonna be able to see on this one because it's super scuffed, but you can kind of see there. It says energy arc. And I haven't ran in these long enough yet. Like I said, I only got 1 5K on them to give a definite review. But right off the bat, this feels like a more racy shoe compared to the V3s. Now they're both, fuel cell super comp trainers. However, the newer style, it just feels more stiff and more rigid, even though they both have carbon plates. Obviously with the larger stack height, you're going to get a little bit more of a cushion, but because it's a stiffer shoe, I think there's also more push in them as well. And I also sized down a size and a half, which is really strange. So I'm a 10 in regular shoes, In these shoes, I went to 9.5 because the toe box is so wide. And I still had a little bit of room, which is fine. These, on the other hand, I went to a 9. I don't know if I made the right play, but I was trying on a 9.5 and a 9 in the store, and even a 10, and they all fit good, but for some reason when I was just jogging around the store, I felt that the 9 was the most secure around my feet. So I've sized down one whole size. Now I know a lot of people out there are gonna say, oh, what if your feet swell? What if your foot, pushes the front consistently of the shoe? But for some reason, I still have like that much room in front, and I kind of like the more snug fit. These were nice because they had a wide toe box. These are the narrower version. These are the wider version. And the wide toe box was really nice because you could kind of clump all of your toes down as opposed to having them squished together, which actually helped with my injury on the 70.3 prep. However, I also felt that with having a much wider toe box as well too, I wasn't able to push as much just because I felt like I had too much room. So this is like a good in the middle between narrow and wide, which is exactly what I need for my feet. Even though I do have more narrow feet, it's nice to have a wider toe box because the last thing you want is your toes being squished like this. You kind of want them to be more spread out to what's more natural to your actual toe space. If you think about like a Vans shoe or like a regular sneaker, they're always so tight and our feet tend to overlap like this sometimes. And I noticed it in my feet too. So the good thing about these New Balance trainers is that even in the narrow version, it's still relatively wide. So your feet have a little bit of room to kind of gap in between the toes. Whereas it being super narrow and then your feet are just kind of squished over like that, which can cause imbalances. You can end up relying on the shoe, and it's just not something that is good for you per se. So I definitely recommend getting a wider toe box, but we're gonna give these for a 40-minute run today, test them out, see how they perform, and then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna give you guys a review and let you know my thoughts on the trainers and if they are worth your money. All right, so we just wrapped up 7 kilometers with a 5:30 per kilometer pace, and there's a lot of tightness in my Achilles, like way more tightness, and it's in the opposite side of my injury, which is on the right side. My right side is doing really good, but now my left side is starting to go. I don't know if it's because I'm overworking it more, but we gotta really stretch the Achilles out. So today I'm going to the gym, but I'm not weightlifting, which is insane. I'm doing like a strength rehab program, so it's gonna be a lot of glute work, a lot of hamstring work, like with weights, but I'm not like bodybuilding. Maybe at the end I'll throw in some like leg press and some accessories just to like call it a leg day or a light leg day. And then we have my stretching program when I come home. Probably do that in the afternoon, and this is gonna be for my Achilles, my plantar fasciitis, and all the other stuff that's bothering me, because I'm just a walking injury case. I can really feel like in my respiratory system, especially right now, because it's like so cold outside, right around here, every time I like breathe in and breathe out, because I'm breathing in all this cold air and my heart rate is at like 150, 140 beats per minute. My body temperature is increasing. It's like so painful, but I mean, it is what it is. It's just kind of what you got to push through. But I'm excited that I'm finally back at running, back at training normally like I should be. And I just want to keep the momentum going and keep everything going in a positive direction. So we're gonna go eat, change, I'm gonna do my rehab program, and then I'm gonna give you guys my final review on the shoes, and I'm gonna compare the two in a lot more detail, tell you what I like about them, what I not like about them, if I'd buy them again, and if I would go up a size or down a size. So I'm gonna go finish up that stuff, and then I'll see you guys in the lab. All right guys, so I don't sound as bad as I did after the run now. I can actually talk about my shoes and the difference between my V3s, V4s, and all the trainers that I've used in the past. So the first pair of real running shoes I bought were the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2s. These are the Nike Zoom X Vaporflies, and I bought them because I typed in best running shoe, and this was like on the top 3 list of what I watched. So I was like, okay, well, I want the best running shoe. Of course, I'm gonna go spend some money. This was over, you know, close to 2 years ago now, and I really wish I didn't buy these as my first running shoe because they gave me a lot of problems. First off, these have a carbon plate. They are like super stiff. If I pull them back on this desk here, which I'm not going to because they're dirty, but if I were to pull them back, let go, they're gonna spring out into the distance. And that essentially is that plate that's inside of the shoe. It's got a lot of force behind it, and it's a fierce shoe. On top of all that, this material is Flyknit, and Flyknit, if you've ever worn a Nike Flyknit shoe, is so thin and flimsy. Like, there is no support around your ankle. Like, you can literally see through here the ventilation on the sides. This is a very, very thin top sheet for a shoe, and the main focus is just lightweight and to kind of propel you forward. What I did like is the heel on the bottom section is actually kind of supportive. You have this super thick end here that like tails out. I kind of like that. Sometimes when I was getting into running, heel strike a lot, so this kind of like helped. But I mean, it shouldn't have, because that's improper technique. So I was using a shoe that was compensating for that. And then this shoe brought me a lot of ankle pain because it was a carbon plated shoe, and I didn't know anything about training at the time. I didn't know anything about zone training, and I would just kind of give it my all every run. And when you have a powerful shoe and a beginner runner who's super committed, those two can end in a really disastrous outcome. So after a couple months of using them, I ended up retiring them because of the ankle pain, kept them in good shape, and then a year and a half later, I'm using them now. Second pair of shoes that I jumped into were the V3s. This is my second pair of V3s for the Super Comp trainers. Really good shoe, thick stack height, a lot of ankle support for a carbon plated shoe, which is insane. And just overall, like, really quality shoe. So I did 2 Ironmans, not with this pair specifically, but with the V3s. And then because these are still powerful shoes and I was having a lot of ankle pain on prep, I actually went out and got a normal running shoe, which was a Hoka Clifton 9. And these are literally like rain boots compared to those other shoes. Super gummy, really thick, slow, easy pace shoes. Really serves one purpose, and that's just kind of have like a casual jog. You're not going to be pushing any pace with these guys. They're pretty heavy, they're thick, and they're, you know, not really used for anything else. If you have a really strenuous job where you're walking around, you don't need steel toe boots. These are good shoes to buy. Running, they're great for easy jogs, great if you're getting into running. I wish these were my first pair of running shoes, and then I went up the ladder as opposed to starting at the top and working my way down. But really good first running shoe. Really, really recommend these because they're not plated, right? They're just regular running shoes, which is all you need. And the ankle support is insane. But currently we have the New Balance Super Comp Trainer V4s, and these are crazy good. I will say that it's an interesting feeling compared to the V3s. The stack height, like I was saying earlier, is just so much thicker than the other one, and I can tell like the minute I put them on my feet. So with these guys, I did notice that they are a little bit more powerful than the V3s. They have a little bit more kick to them. The ankle support feels the same, still feel really supported in the ankle. The front of the shoe, so this part compared to the V3s, Feels a little bit more protected as well. Doesn't feel as loose as the V3s. The V3 front was a thinner material. This is a little bit more rugged, a little bit more thick. But you can push some pace on these. Now, what I did notice is I had some heel pain running today on these shoes specifically. This is my only second run on them, so it's going to take me some time to break them in anyways. I'm not doing any threshold work either, so this isn't like a true opinion. But just right off the bat, they just feel like a more thicker, more powerful version of the V3s. There's really not too much of a difference compared to these two. I feel like when running on them side by side. What I will say is this is a little bit more stiff. This is kind of a little bit more squishy. So the stack height, even though it's thicker on this one, is not as squishy as the V3. I feel like the V3 right off the bat was very squishy, very comfortable. This is a lot more stiff and a lot more snappy. This is still a snappy shoe, but the V4s, they just feel like one step snappier. And for being like a more powerful trainer, you got to be careful with these ones not to hurt yourself. Whereas the V3s, I felt like they could really push at any pace. But overall, like super quality shoe. I'm gonna get some more runs in them and see how they feel, and then I can go in more detail about the pros and cons. But off the bat, first impressions, I'm gonna give them like a solid 8.5 out of 10. I'd give the V3s a 9 out of 10. For these to be a 9 out of 10 for me, I don't want to feel any pain in my heel, so I want to have them broken in, and I want them to be a little bit more variable when running at slower paces. But for now, they're still a very solid shoe. Very happy with my purchase. And if you're just getting into running, get the Clifton 9, the one that I was holding up earlier, the green one. But if you're a more advanced runner, or you started with the Clifton 9, or started with a Nike Free Run or a Pegasus, or a really easy running shoe, then, you know, I think the Super Comp Trainer might be the next step for you. I wouldn't go into something like the Vaporfly right away, because that's a shoe that is going to kick you in the butt if you don't kick it back. And it definitely did that to me. So that is all the sneakers that I've used in the past for running. I'm going to continue to grow my collection, so maybe there'll be another video down the line. Currently, I'm training for a marathon with the goal of sub 3:30. That will lead into another event. That event, I'm not sure if it's 100% going to be doable. I need to see how the marathon goes, see how my injuries go, and then I'll announce that and start talking about that. But first things first, we got to get into marathon prep. We got to stay healthy. We got to keep pushing, and we're progressing quite nicely. So if you guys didn't see on my story, Rise is having a Black Friday sale. If you wanted to get yourself some gear, now is definitely the time. While they have up to a 60% off sale, you can use my code Jordan at checkout. You save yourself an additional 10%. Their gear is phenomenal. I use their shorts every single day, and I haven't even needed to ask for a new pair because that's how good the quality is. And they don't smell, which is like the best part. So when I come back from runs, sometimes I'm super sweaty, my clothes start to smell, but those shorts, I can just take them off, hang them, and they'll be completely dry and they won't stink. So I can wear them for my next run and not have to worry about consistently washing them every day. But do wash your clothes though. That's gross if you don't. Nonetheless, they have some of the best running apparel. I've been using them for the past 6 months now, and I have been extremely satisfied. So check their site out. A link is going to be in the description below for their Black Friday sale. If you guys want to get coached by me, or you are interested in hybrid training, running, weightlifting, you can click the link in the description below. My coaching platform and my 90-day hybrid challenge is going to be available for you to check out. It would mean a lot if you went and took a look. That's going to wrap up the video for today, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.